Is it live? Is it live or is it Memorex? We don't know. We don't really know. We just guess. We just guess. Scott Napzok here, live on the Blathering. We call it the Blathering Live. It used to be called the Blathering when I did it exclusively for my Patreon supporters, and I said swear words a lot. I still like to say swear words, but YouTube doesn't like it, so we wait a little bit for the swear words. We are here today. We got calls lined up. If you want to call into the show, I'll tell you how if you don't already know. I'm a poet and I wasn't even aware of it. YouTube channel members, you get to call in. Patreon supporters at patreon.com/Napzok. Shout out to those who've just joined. JMB, aka Vulcan Nerd, join. And from there you can get into the Discord. Now I'll answer right now. JMB, I got your message. JMB, I just got your message. When you join the Patreon page, you're supposed to get an email that welcomes you that has a link to the Discord. That's the preferable way to get in the Discord because that automatically assigns you the appropriate tier. Now, once you're in, you're in. I don't really access things off anymore. I used to have higher tiers where I'd say, ooh, that's a velvet rope. If you pay me this amount of this much money this month, you get to go into the VIP room. We don't do this much. Maybe I could one day. I just want you in there. But that's one way to do it. If not, I will try to send you a direct link via either Patreon or Discord if you're on there, and I'll get you into the server. All right, that's some business there. JMB, check your spam folder. Vermont Mike's here. Major problems here. Ahoy, ahoy. Good to have the Major back in here today. Like I said, calls are lined up. We will talk a little bit. I don't have anything... This is the Andor stuff today. That's the Andor notes I had. There you go. That's the official rundown of the Andor live show for the official trailer. Can you read my doctor level scratch? Probably not. But Jennifer and I broke down the trailer if you want to check it out there. Probably won't be talking much about the Andor trailer today. So there you go. I want to talk a little bit about our comically... idiotic leaders adding editor-in-chief the Atlantic on their Signal app chat group and talking about the fate of the world. We'll talk about that in a second. I don't even know. But at the same time, we all know. I do have in the live stream on the YouTube side, if you're watching on Twitch or Facebook, hey, hello, answer there as well. But I did put a Q&A out. Have you ever sent a text, email, or message to the wrong person? Have you ever, I'll add to that, have you ever hit reply all when you shouldn't have? Have you ever sent a Slack message not knowing it was to the whole group? We've all done it. We've all done it. I once sent a text message to my former girlfriend intended for my roommate, answering my roommate on a question about the attractiveness of the people around me. And I said, yeah, blank stupid thing. And she got it. That didn't go well. So imagine if I was like, yeah, we're going to bomb Yemen at 2. And I sent that to the wrong person. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. And if you got thoughts and answers, I want you to share any horror stories of sending them. In fact, call in. Tonight should be like more of a radio show. Usually I just leave it all to you. And by all means, you call in, you direct me where you want to go. But I'd love to take these stories. One of the things we're doing here today, we're going to do this. We're going to do this now. We got this set up. Okay. We are looking live. If you're watching here, if you're listening to the audio version later, thank you. You keep the podcast feed going and going strong. On my screen is two things. At the top, it says kennapzok.com. That is currently a dead website. That has finally been confirmed. I do not have an active website. Great for the jobs I just applied for at a radio station where I need them to look at it, but I can't afford $80 a month for a goddamn store that I barely use. And so I took off the store, and they were like, well, then that's it. You're done. Your website's done. That's fun. That's a different thing. Anyways, you're looking live at Laserbolt's YouTube channel. That's right. Laserbolt videos. Our buddy Laserbolt. A Ken to a Ken here. And we are on this channel goal to build up Laserbolt's hours watched. because he has hit the 1,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, which is difficult to get to. But once you're there, it opens up a world of possibilities. But the next big thing is 4,000 hours watched in one calendar year. Then you open up monetization on your YouTube channel. I said it right. Don't you question it. So what I've decided to do, if we all do this, I'm going to drop this link right here in chat. Let's go to this one here. I'm gonna drop this in the chat. Paste it. Boom. That's the link. If on another tab, David McKay says I watched one of his forced meat videos. They're great, right? In another tab, open up that. The Facebook page doesn't want that one. Open up on another tab. You can leave my show. Cancel me out. I don't know. On another tab, bring up that YouTube link I just dropped in chat. We're all going to watch the video together today. All right? All right? I'm not going to turn the sound on. I'll turn it on a little bit. We could do that a little bit here. There we go. There's the sweet sounds of a plane. But in the background today, entire length of the show, we're going to watch that. We're going to watch that right there. Laser Bolt's ready. He's about to fly that behemoth of a plane with his buddies. This is what he does his Friday night flights. And we're all collectively going to get those watch hours up, okay? Vermont Mike just subscribed and saved the video. Vermont Mike, you're an ASMR fan. Laser Bolt's a naturally calming guy. I don't know what he is in real life when he's out there killing bears and elk to make burgers. But he is, it's a nice hum. Brandon at Fake Nerd Podcast. I'm watching this on my TV. I don't have other tabs. That's fair. I'm glad. I apologize to Brandon for him watching me on the TV and this face being huge. But it's a relaxing flight sim. Look, I'll turn this back on. It's relaxing. You could fall asleep to Laser Bolt flying a plane. So there you go. So we're going to do that today. We're going to do this in the background. We're all going to watch that video if you can, or if you watch it later, do that as well. Because Laser Bolt, we love you, man, and we're going to help you get onto the hours, man. He's close. He's about 700 hours away. And Laser Bolt says he's not a hunter. I don't know that. I don't know how you get those forest meats. And quite frankly, Laser Bolt, I'm not going to question how you get the forest meats, okay? I just know you're in a forest with meat. David McKay has a great question. If I watch a 2-hour video at 2 times speed, does that count as 1 hour too? I don't know that. I mean, the 1 hour, I don't know that. That's a good, I don't know. Never thought about that. I don't know. I'll take a sip of my Gatorade. It's 90 degrees here today in the nice late spring Burbank. So normally I'd pour nice whiskey or something. Today it's Gatorade. All right. I was going to say, let's get into it. We got some calls. We got Jared. We got Addie. If you want to be a caller, you know what to do. But there's so much every day. We got people being picked up for their, protest, and we got Israel bombing the hell out of Gaza again. We got, Putin and Trump deciding the future of Ukraine. We get so many things you can plug in every day. But I just don't even know how to process the Atlantic story this morning of Hesketh or Hexketh? Because there was a Major League Baseball player named Joe Hesketh, and I think I say that. It's Hexith. Whatever, that drunk. The SecDef, President J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio, spokespeople, Tulsi Gabbard, all these people on this work text thread, basically, on Signal, which is supposed to be pretty encrypted and everything. But they add Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic. He gets added. If you don't know the story, I think by now everyone does. He gets added to the thread and thinks, I think appropriately and correctly, well, this must be a joke. This can't be real. I'm being punked. This is a test. Maybe if it is if that's really J.D. Vance or a representative of him, they're trying to bait me into some sort of trap. So he sits on it, but keeps checking in. No one notices that he's in the thread. No one notices that he's there. He asked some people about it. Everyone's like, I don't know. Seems like a trap. It's a trap. And then finally, he sits in his car at a supermarket at a designated time because, according to the thread, we were going to bomb the Houthis in Yemen. And then it happens pretty much at the exact time that the thread said it is, confirming, as I think it has now been confirmed, that it was all real. Steve says, oh, it was encrypted. They just had the press in the bleep in group chat. Veep, that you said it. Steve, producer Stephen Chat says, Veep, the TV show, would throw the story out for being too cliche. That's what I said a few times today with friends. It is this is the both best season of Veep and the most unbelievable season of Veep. Like, I just finished watching season 3 of Hacks, and I agree with one of my friends who says, hey, the show, for him, the show didn't work as it got on. It worked as much. He still likes the show, but it got so big and broad, almost sitcom-y in the situations that it lost him a little bit. And I understood. I liked season 3 of Hacks a lot, but it was very situational at times. And that's what happens with the show. You get bigger and broader and at times bolder, but at times cliche. This season of Veep, what we're watching in real life in real time is too unbelievable. So as J&B says, the level of incompetence, but enough to inflict the death and suffering is raging. That's one of the things I can't process. Look, all through our history as a country, including the Biden administration, we have done things and attacks and supported and given money. And the blood is on the hands always. This I get. But there was something off-putting, surreal, and I don't know if you all felt it too, where watching the bombing happen, and look, going back to even when the Biden administration was launching attacks at the Houthis, you know, I know it was all tied into Israel, and it was complicated, and we all love our Game of Thrones being complicated, but the real world's much so. Like, you know, I don't know if I want the Houthis launching rockets at transport cargo ships. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's something I want. So I understand there was something must be done. I get that. But as 53 or so people are killed and there's emojis being shared as if it was, we were all in a group text talking about Monday Night Football. It was hard for me to process. It is hard to understand. But that aside, I guess my question to all of you is, as we share stories of horrible miscommunication things, let's just have fun with that. But as we sit here right now, I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think any of the Republicans who used Hillary's email server, which wasn't something that I didn't think was, you know, not a problem. Like, I got it. But James Comey basically put changed the future of our country with that investigation and dropping that. And the emails, but her emails, those people, and I do mean those people, those Republicans, many of them in office right now who called for her head, Hillary Clinton's head with the email scandal, this I would say is demonstrably worse. Nothing's going to happen. And that's maybe where it's even more surreal to me. You're going to see a lot of people. Raskin was on TV today saying it as well. Like, this is big, and this is big. This is a breach in security and a level of incompetence that we can't even seem to, up till now, maybe could think of, but we're not actually comprehend as being real. And that's where I'm at. I just don't know if anything is going to happen. And I just looked at the news today and went, this is where we're at. I don't know. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know what to do with this. So, yeah, to Steve's point, accountability. LOL. That's what's frustrating. If Biden's team had done this, the Republicans would be saying we need heads to roll, investigations would call, and I bet you'd get 10 Democrats to side with them and go, yeah, you know what? You're right. Not going to happen this time around. It's just going to be another footnote on the batshit craziness that we're all living under right now. Yeah. All right. Let's take some calls. Thank you for the super chats. Cam Haas says, sorry for the Canadian dollars. No, know what, Cam? I'll spend your Canadian ducats. What do you guys call it up there? Just Canadian dollars? Do you call it poutine dollars? Tell me. And I don't want you to be our 51st state. I want you to be your own country. Elbows up. Kingsport Cal, your goal was weak. You should aim higher. Cal, have you met me? All my goals are weak, but I'm happy you're here. Ooh. Harley Quinn. You're making it sound like it's not a meritocracy. They're called dollars up there. I think that's a missed opportunity. You should yeah. You should come up collectively. You should all come up with your own money. I don't like you taking. I don't want you to have the word dollars anymore. Loonies are those the coins? They're loonies. Well, he says they're dollars. Okay, Brandon D. McClure says, working on changing my YouTube channel to something other than the F&P logo. People logo. There you go. This is, of course, my buddy Brandon, and I'm always going to prop up his work as well. Head on over to his Substack, btmcclure.substack.com, or if you're watching on two screens, use your phone to hit that QR code and get his entertainment news and opinions weekly. Love Brandon's work. Also love propping up good folks like him. He is one of those good people out there in the world, doing good and trying to survive. The coins are loonies and toonies. Now, okay, David, you're just making it up. And you, Cam, I don't believe you. Loonies and toonies, stop it. Stop it. Here's Scotty J. Real. How does one send Blathering bucks? Oh, can we create our own currency? Can I pull a hawk to a girl? In pot, what? Yeah, all right. I'll give it a go. Can I pull a hawk to a girl? Jared, the Type Pilot, got it. Can I pull a hawk to a girl and start my own Blathering bucks crypto thing? Let's try it. Okay. Zoc coin. There you go. You want Zoc? You're all jumping in with Zoc coins. I guess we need to start Zoc coins. There we go. Zoc coins. All right. First of all, before we do calls, let's check in. Let's get over here. This is what we're doing. If you're just joining the show, some people are dropping in here right now. We are watching our buddy Laserbolt, watching a video that came out a little bit ago. He's up. You're up over 1,000 subs now, Laserbolt. To the 3 weeks ago, he streamed this C-130 Hercules group flight to Chile. And this is what he does. It's about a couple hours. He's sitting... He sits there with his buddies on a Friday night. They take off, they land. What I love about the flight simulator thing is, you really do have to. It's patience. Like, you're not just. If I was in this, I would try to do some kind of strafing run. I'd try to land at a mall, but they try to do it the right way. So we're here supporting our buddy Laserbolt to get him up over 4,000 watched hours there. So head on over to his channel, and we're doing this all together at the same time. All right, let's take some calls. We got a call on the road. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Addie, you're here. Addie, you're on the air. You are running into the gym. What's going on?
Oh no, I just got home.
Okay.
And then,
Are you safe?
Yeah, I just walked into my apartment. Unless there's somebody in here who shouldn't be.
I don't know. Do you trust Jared the Type Pilot to not get into people's houses? He's a punk rocker.
Well, he would have to know where I live.
Pete Exith probably does. He'll probably tell the world. Probably. All right. What's going on? What I want to know though from every caller, what's an embarrassing misshare of information you've done?
I honestly can't think of one, and that's not to say that I've never done it. I just can't think of one.
You've never hit reply all to your class and been like, that student was a real winner, right?
No.
Damn. We're trying, Jared. We're trying.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think while I was driving, and
I'm glad you didn't call in while you're driving like Scotty J-Ro, who does Bombadcast sometimes live from his car while he's driving. I
was waiting in the queue while driving.
Well, if I'd taken the call, you might have been thrown in jail.
Hands-free on my Bluetooth speakerphone.
Okay. All right.
Listening to you through the car.
So do you want us to help you decide if you're going to go to the gym tonight?
I mean, you can, but that's not my question.
Oh, well, all right. What's the question?
I was supposed to go to the gym this morning. I woke up with a migraine, so I didn't go. So I was going to go tomorrow morning, but then I pulled in and noticed no one was riding the Peloton at my gym. And so I was like, I could go tonight and get it out of the way.
Okay. All right, this is
Except
wonderful.
it's 7 o'clock and I haven't had dinner yet, so like life's a trade-off.
Look, I think, and I'm not the gym expert here, even though I spend a lot of time with it. I think it's better if you go to the gym without food in your stomach. I think you should have
I
some
do too.
chicken
I can't eat
tacos
dinner
after.
and then go. If I eat dinner tonight is a wash.
Look, Jared says, bleep the gym, eat ice cream.
Well, I'd have to go back out in the rain, Jared. I don't have any.
It's raining. Okay. All right. That's fair. Okay. That's fair. All right. All right. So what is your question? I don't want to keep you. What is your question?
I have a very important question for these very important times, Ken.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you think that A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is going to have the same theme song as Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it is. I think it is. And I don't know what to think about that because I have to admit, 10% disappointed that House of the Dragon used the same theme, but 90% like, yeah, that makes sense. Star Wars has its main thing. Like, I liked it. So at the end of the day, I sided with that. Plus, I don't doubt, or Ramin Djawadi's a genius and one of my favorites out there, and I've seen him in concert a few times. So, but it just makes sense now. But I wouldn't mind it. Maybe you could change it a little bit. House of the Dragon ones, maybe slightly.
Now, here's the follow-up question. Will Ramin Djawadi do the music? Or will they just use his theme?
I think I think I don't he did House of the Dragon, right? Did he do
Yes, he did, but he is not confirmed as doing A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. I was looking this up this weekend.
Okay, look, here's an opportunity to stretch our legs, maybe get another composer in there. I'd like him to do it. I think, again, absolute genius. One of my favorites. I'm telling you, folks, if you are a Game of Thrones fan and you ever get a chance, if they do the in-concert shows with him, do it. It's amazing. I saw him at the Forum and at Hollywood Bowl. It's great. But this is the kind of show where I think this, and to answer, I brought up the comment in chat, Vermont Mike, yes, there's a third show this year, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, based off the Dunk and Egg stories. I think it's a show with lower expectations. By example, that Vermont Mike, I'm not saying he keeps up on the world of Westeros all the time, but like I think as many people know, there's a show, so it's a chance to get someone in there and expand the family.
Right, that's how I was thinking of like how John Williams didn't do Rogue One and Solo.
But what? Yeah,
but they still used some of his themes. They
did. I don't want to share too many things of things I know. Just if they do it that way, then Ramin's got to stay away.
Oh.
Blink. And truly say, all right, someone else can do it, and not be over their shoulder, is all I'll say. But not all legends are perfect. So I think
I understand the story you're telling.
Yeah. So but Djawadi is just so good. I want to live in his music again.
I don't disagree. So I've been head over heels in this rewatch for thanks to Jared the Thai Pilot. Okay. I started 2 weeks ago and am almost done with season 7 now.
That's like me doing my Gilmore Girls run level impressive. That's impressive stuff. It's on in the background.
It's on in the background. I'm not actively watching it. It's not like I haven't seen it before. But
yeah. Okay. All right.
I've also been listening to the music at work while I've been trying to write the grant application I'm currently writing, and
cool.
it's so good. It's so good.
It is so good.
It's all like the House of the Dragon stuff is different from the Throne stuff, but it's just still within the same family, and it just feels right to keep it all within the same family.
I think again, if I had my druthers, I would hope he does it and we keep it there. But if they're not, it's a perfect opportunity to stretch our legs and expand our family, I think.
It is, but I do have to agree with you. If they do it, I think this is now not the theme song from Game of Thrones. It is the theme song of Westeros, and we have to keep it.
Yeah. Kingsport Cal says, "Get that grant, Addie. You're gonna get it.
Oh, I am overreaching, like. This is
Look,
this
like,
this foundation funds things that are much bigger than my work, but I've got to try everything. So
look at it. I'm a failure on every level. Okay, I've failed all through my career, and will continue to. I have to beg for tips when I give you your tacos. So don't take any advice from me. But I'll say this: overreaching is how you succeed. That's how people do it.
This goes to the talk I had to give on Friday, where I told students, like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
that's right.
I decided a long time ago to apply for things and let them decide I am not qualified, instead of me ruling myself out.
You know who said? I think it was Michael Jordan who said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and then Scotty Pippen said, your friend misses 100% of the shots you don't pass the ball to him for. Oh yeah, that's Bulls humor. Early 90s Bulls humor. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, Addie, go to the gym.
I am working on changing to go to the gym as we speak, Ken.
There you go. All right, we want a full report. What did you do? The Peloton? How long? How many miles? What you lifted? We're going to want a full report, and our official fitness expert, Outlaw Adam Knight, is gonna weigh in on it.
The current plan is to do 20 minutes, either Disney or Broadway ride.
I didn't even know that's a thing. Peloton is a mystery to me. All right, Addie, get to it.
See you later, Ken.
Addie, check it in on the road. Call it in safely. Hey, you're all listening to the Blathering live or watching the show. We got some calls lined up. We got Cam Stewart calling in, and Evan's returning. Major problems. So good to have him back. I cannot wait to get him back on the show here. I also want to continue to highlight some of the other work of my friends out there. My buddy Aaron Alexovich is an old roommate, a longtime friend of mine. God bless it. I've known this man for over 25 years about, it seems. He has a new graphic novel that's been out for a bit. I'm still highlighting it, though. It is Shock City. It is a great graphic novel about two young kids trying to survive in a city ruled by a fascist. And he started writing this and making this a while ago, but history has a way of keeping on and repeating. So support a great independent artist. Aaron was one of the minds behind Invader Zim, including some of the great character designs and the aesthetic of the show. So check out Aaron's work there. All right, let's check in quickly on Laserbolt's video here. Laserbolt, apologize for the sound. He said it's too loud. I had it a little bit loud, Laserbolt. You're fine. So Laserbolt is flying. Look at this. This is how great the flight. I am pretty sure he's got to set the heading setting up. Wow. I'm pretty sure that after watching one of Laserbolt's videos, I'm not saying I could fly a plane. Definitely couldn't land or take off with a plane. But if I was in a airplane, a C-130 perhaps, and they said, does anyone know here how to fly? I'd be like, I'll give it a go. I've watched Laserbolt. I got it. If you're just joining us, head on over to Laserbolt Video's channel. There's a link in the chat. I can drop it again. We're helping our buddy get over 4,000 hours watched. He is almost monetized, and we're all going to watch this video together. And maybe you two can watch it later, and we can help someone as a team here. All right, a lot of calls. I love when Mondays have a lot of calls. What's going on with my? I just returned to chat. What's going on with my Gatorade shots? I needed my Gatorade today. All right. Thank you for the very generous super chat, Laserbolt. You don't need to, say anything, Laserbolt. We're here to help you. And quite frankly, Laserbolt, I'm not going to shut up about forest meats until you launch that channel. It's going to be a winner. We're going to all have a lot of fun with that. All right. Let's get to the calls. We got several lined up, including Kingsport Cal. We'll make him wait to the very end, because I like to make him sweat. All right, on the show now is a punk rocker who recently fell down a skateboard ramp, but doing the Lord's work in the process. It's Jared, the TIE Pilot. Jared, how you doing, buddy?
I'm feeling better than I was Saturday after that.
I watched the video. So for those who don't know the story, Jared's a punk band, Concept of a Plan, playing in a skate park. Great show. They're doing it sounded great. And then you were off to like the side, and the camera pans over to you, and you decide to just skate down in your shoes while playing your instrument. What do you play? You bass or you guitar?
Guitar.
And you fell on your ass, but you kept playing. You kept playing. So could you, I know you might have a question here, but Jared, can you walk us through the moment? What made you go over there?
Well, my fine wireless system lets me do that, and
Okay.
I had also made the joke because when we were setting up, we were all testing our wireless to make sure they could go how far out and what. And I kept walking to the back of the park, like, "You're not going to go over there." I'm like, "Watch me." So I went up the stairs.
Someone in your band challenged you?
Basically.
Okay.
So I got up the stairs, did my little dancing up there, and then I'm looking down the ramp, and I've skated in my life. I was young once. I
Yeah.
remember being that, and I figured I could just slowly walk down, not remembering that actual skate ramps are slippery because it's not real wood. And I ate it real good. But like you said, kept going because adrenaline. And then I went to bed that night and did not get up all day Saturday.
Well earned, though. Look, it's a rock and roll moment. It's a punk rock moment. I loved watching it. So I think you're doing what's right for your band and for you as an artist. So good stuff. What's on your mind tonight? Have you? Well, first of all, what's on my mind tonight, Jared, is that have you done anything embarrassing in terms of miscommunication? Have you shared information with someone that you weren't supposed to share it with? Have you sent a Slack message to the group when it was meant for one person? What have you done?
Like Addie, I'm sure I have, but it had to be nothing of consequence or something. But I have twice in my life received, how do I say, unsolicited birthday suit photographs from complete strangers.
Twice?
Twice. And I have to, once on Facebook, once actually over my text message in my phone. I had to send back. I'm like, I don't think this was meant for me, yo.
Was it a telephone pole? What did you which direction was it going? How was this played out? I'm very curious about this.
The one over Facebook just very much I was just like, because I just sent back, "Who is this?" And she goes, "Oh shit, that wasn't for you," and just blocked. Picture deleted. I'm just like, that's fine, cool.
Yeah. No, I don't blame her for that. No, absolutely not.
The funny one was over text message. I just sent a simple, "Hey, this isn't the person you probably think it is," and she goes, "Oh," and she goes, "Oh shit, you're not. I put in the wrong number." Then she goes, "Well, how do I look before I send it to the right person?"
Both responses are appropriate to me. Both ones, I would have rolled with it. Yeah, what do you think? Rate it on a scale of 7, 1 to 7. We know it's not a 10. Great stuff. Billy Business in chat checking in says, "I was talking bleep on Slack during a Zoom meeting. The person was sharing their screen, had a lot of apologies to make, and I know a little bit about the story, and it's amazing. It's wonderful. So if you're out there, have a story, I want you to call on the show tonight. But in honor of what's gone on with our wonderful administration sharing national security secrets with a editor-in-chief at The Atlantic on a non-government sanctioned app, call in and share your stories. Anyways, what's on your mind tonight, Jared? What's your question? Where are you going?
Well, I was gonna probably do something more random, but I was doom scrolling and a interesting question came up that I had never really thought of before for a Game of Thrones what if.
Well,
what if Ned Stark requested trial by combat?
So he's in the black cells. He's brought up to be not brought up to be executed, brought up to apologize. So before all that, you're saying?
I would say before he gets on that stage, because
he thought he cut a deal.
Yeah, it's almost like it's like a hey, enter a guilty plea kind of thing. But instead of entering that guilty plea, it's like, no, I want trial by combat. And then if he gets it, does he A, choose a champion, or be his own champion? And B, who do you think the crown would have put up against him?
Well, Sir Gregor had left by this time, right? He's out.
I believe he's at Harrenhal at this
He's
time.
at Harrenhal. He's out.
Yeah.
I could see them. Well, Jamie's captured and gone too. So the Crown's got their options are going low. It might be the Hound, but I think Ned in his state would call for a champion, and he would not be a champion himself. He had a spear through his leg. He's been in the Black Cells. I don't think he's at his best. So I think he might have put a call out. Who shows up? That I don't know. But I think the Crown has a problem. I think they're lacking good fighters at that time. I think it might be the Hound by default.
I mean, Hound's a beast with that sword.
And it's not a bad choice.
No.
I mean, quite frankly, the Hound doesn't lose to the end, and even then it's a win. So, well, take it back. There's one loss on his record.
I was going to say.
There's one loss on his record.
Yeah. And that's lost to his brother. I'll put that in the tie column. We won't make it a wins and 2 losses. No. He can have.
Yeah, no, it's a push. It's a push. Yeah, it's an NFL tie. But it's yeah. So I think it's the Hound by default. And I think Ned. Stannis is a good fighter. But I don't think by that point that's his reputation. You know what maybe he does? Here's what I think Ned does. Calls for Barristan Selmy.
Is he allowed as a King's Guard? That's an interest. I mean, I would too, but
I guess it's the timeline. At what point is Barristan, pulled aside? What point is he, sent off to a hole to die in? Does Ned have enough? Is it? I forget the exact timeline, but maybe he's got enough time to call him in. Where Ranger Donald says, if not the Hound, maybe they make Sir Barristan face him. I don't know. What do you think? Who's Ned's champion? I don't think it's Ned because Ned's too hurt.
No, Selmy's a good pick. I feel like Ned's almost lacking good sword options because I feel the Crown would wait, not being able to get Jamie. They would wait for the Mountain to come back to town.
That's true. I like that. That's true.
But it's just
David says Littlefinger. Okay. That's a good question.
Does Ned have respect at the time for oh my god, Loras, the Knight of the Roses?
Sir Loras, maybe.
Because he is a good tourney knight, but
is a tourney knight. Is he a Knight of Summer? That's the problem. Does he consider him a Knight of Summer? Ned's crusty. We'll see. We'd see. But I would like it to be where he goes, all right, I choose Barristan Selmy. And then Barristan's like, you know what? Takes his cape off and goes, I'm in. And then we go from there.
I love it.
All right. Beautiful, Jared. I got some calls to get to, but we'll do some more on Thursday. We got another episode to get to, huh?
Yes, we do, sir. Alrighty. Well, you all stay safe. Addie, enjoy your bike rides. Get ice cream after.
Get ice cream on the way home. One time, I'll tell you this, Jared. One time I worked out at my friend's house. I used to go work out at my friend's gym. And on the way home, I left his house, turned right, and then turned straight left into a McDonald's. It was a great day. Had an ice cream sundae. It was wonderful. All right, Jared. Don't fall down any ramps today, okay?
You got it, brother. Stay safe.
All right, Jared said about calling in. If you want to call into the show and join the fun, do it. But right now, I'm going to hear this story firsthand. I'm calling for people to share their horror stories of did you send some information in a way that you weren't supposed to? Did someone get information they weren't supposed to have? Did you put your career on the line like this man, Billy Business? How you doing, Billy? First of all, you feeling good? I know you've been a little sick the last couple of days. You feeling good? You got the sniffles?
Getting there. Sinus infection. But, antibiotics do wonders, don't they?
They do. Yes, absolutely. Do you want to, without names, we're not sharing names or even companies. Your story is one of the greatest misshares of information I've ever heard.
Yeah, this was a while back. and I had a work friend, and sometimes it's there's just conversations maybe you should have over text. But I was
Directly, one-on-one.
I was slacking them, um, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just talking mad garbage about people that were in the room, people I liked. It was very petty of me. I should.
It's just one of those. Look, we've all been in the trenches at a job, and sometimes you get a little grumpy or grouchy, and we've all said some things that maybe we don't even believe.
It was just one of those things. You get egged on, and then you get a digital laugh going, right?
Yep.
And then I see. I'm not really looking at the Zoom, but I look over at the screen, and I'm seeing the ends of my words on the screen, and I minimize everything. I'm like, oh no, they were the ones sharing their screen. So not only was it clear that I wasn't paying attention, it was very clear that I had just said things about people that I actually really liked and were really nice to me, and it was terrible, and I felt awful, and it was lessons all around. You ever used to watch The Wonder Years, Ken?
Absolutely, one of my favorites.
Remember that episode where Winnie is sick and where he's talking with Becky Slater and he gets in good by her by trashing Winnie. Then he goes to see her later when she's sick and Becky had told her everything. It was kind of like that, except in my underwear. So,
but you recovered, you worked through it, and life goes on, which I guess is the moral of the story. Not to spend time in the horror, but what were those 2 seconds like when you realized what you had done?
Panic. It was like, this can't be real.
Yep.
And then I had the worst part was I was like, but did anyone really see it? So then I was like, I could message people, but am I preemptively apologizing? And then be like, what did you say? And then I have to basically bury myself,
Yep.
But confirmed to me that some people saw it, some people didn't. And I was just like, you know what? Just to clear my conscience anyway, just because I was just a bad thing to do, no matter if anyone saw it or not. I'm just going to go on an apology tour and then maybe walk for the day, Yep.
And you handled it well. You're Billy business, but you're Billy stand-up business. All right, that's what we know. Thanks for calling in, buddy. Before I let you go, though, you looking forward to WrestleMania? Are we watching WrestleMania? Are we worried about Linda McMahon and the Department of Education? Where's our morals on this? What are we doing?
Look, when it comes to WWE and morals, you can't watch one and have the other, right?
You're kind of compromised from the start.
Yeah. Texting my friend Tyler, this might be the most disappointing WrestleMania build I've seen in maybe ever.
I don't disagree with you in that the Cena Cody stuff. I've liked what I've seen, but even that seems muted. Is it muted to me? What is it? What do you feel is lacking? Because I don't disagree with you, but I'm not in it enough to have to offer up a solution, so to speak.
Sure. I mean, Raw has been live in the afternoons because they've been overseas. So today's Raw already aired, and Cena came out and he cut the same promo again, but it just feels so forced, and it's so. He hasn't said why he went with The Rock. He hasn't said why he specifically targeted Cody. It's just, I'm mad and your sports team sucks kind of heel heat. Like, I don't buy this. I just don't buy it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are they fumbling potentially one of the greatest heel turns in the history of wrestling? I'll say this before I pitch that to you. I enjoyed Cena's promo, but I thought it was made better by Cody's response. I personally liked his response of this isn't what I wanted, not who I wanted to face. But John's promo was solid. He can talk. This is a Hall of Famer. But he said things in that promo that I could have predicted. That I have said in Schmodown heel turn promos, and I'm not even joking. It was paint by numbers made better by Cody, and to repeat that, I worry about that.
Here's the thing, and I'm a nerd that did all of Second City and UCB improv, and one of the things that they always told us that when you were yes-anding and elevating a scene is think logically, though. Like if you're at a restaurant and the waiter's being crazy and harassing you and all this stuff, why don't you leave, right? And so of logic is always in my mind. So every time, well, it's only 2 times, but when Cena comes out and he's just like, you booed me, you hate me, you this, you that, I'm just like, so why now? Why 20 some odd years now is this something that you absolutely must take a stand on? When you have the storyline crutch of like something with The Rock, like he basically was saying months ago, like, I'm such a loser. I've lost every match for like 5 years. So it's like, well, there was your story. I can't win by myself anymore, but The Rock can help me.
That's good.
17, and they're just ignoring it for very cheap heel heat, and it's not working for me.
Well, there you go. I think it's time for you to apply for a writer's job in Stamford, Connecticut, and join the team because I really like that pitch. I think that's good. I've enjoyed it. I think overall, I'm tuned in, but I do agree with you. It's feeling a little muted. There you go. Some little wrestling talk with me and Billy Business. Billy, we recorded an episode the other day. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Are we going to see that episode's in the light of day?
Yes, there's a clip that I put on my story just to see if people liked it. But yeah, you and I talked Dial of Destiny for a revival of Hot Takes after I came on last time and said the last time I tried it was terrible. I think we had a great conversation. So
it's great.
It'll come out at some point.
Did I miss the story? Why didn't I see it?
I'm kind of new to the YouTube Shorts thing, so I don't know if I did it right. But
it was a YouTube short.
Yeah.
Okay, not on like. Okay, good. I follow you on Instagram. I was like, have I never followed Billy on Instagram?
I don't know. Last time I opened Instagram was.
Okay. Okay. But look for it. Look for it, folks. It's going to be great. Follow. Get Billy's YouTube channel up there. Is it just Billy Business or what is it?
That's a great question. I actually don't even know.
You're killing it. You're killing it on the promotion.
Look, I wasn't ready.
You're the John Cena heel turn of YouTube channel promotion.
I was planning to bank a bunch of episodes and then figure out how to disperse them, so I don't have the pin down. Yeah, try Billy Business. Hot Takes. See what happens. You'll find it.
See what happens. Just search. But I'll let you all know we had a great conversation about one of my favorite movies the last few years, Dial of Destiny. But we had some good stuff. Billy brought up some good points. It was a good thing. It was a good time. So look forward to that. Thanks for calling in, Billy. I was in your neck of the woods on Sunday, and I thought about just showing up at your house, but I don't know where you lived, so we'll do it soon.
All right, see you later.
All right, Billy Business, call it in here. We are live here on the Blathering, and let's check on our buddy Laserbolt. Here we go. Is he Laserbolt? Walk us through this part of the video here. Are you ready to take off? What's the deal? We got your buddy Longhorn Ram, Compass Coast. Those are your buddies. They're getting in line. When does there's the take. I don't want to. I'm not going to skip ahead. If you're just joining the show, head on over to Laserbolt's YouTube channel. I'm going to drop the link in again. We're helping our buddy Laserbolt get to 4,000 hours watched because he is very close to it, and that will get him over the hump for being completely monetized. And we want you all to do that there. Help us as a team. Let's help Laserbolt get over that hump. Scotty says, I'm driving. Should I call in? Scotty, you can. I don't know if I condone that. I don't know if that's safe. All right. Let us take some more calls. We got some calls lined up. We got 2 Cams. We got a Cameron and Cam. And we got returning to the show. We know him as Major Problems in Chat, but he's also named Evan. And I'm glad to have you back, Evan. How you doing?
Ahoy, hoy, Ken. How are you?
I am doing really, really good, especially now that you're here. How has life? How's life been?
Life has been good. Life has been busy. Life has been chaotic. I was so excited to be blathering multiple times a week, and then we know what's going on in the world and current events, and I feel like I blather enough as it is. But I'm getting back on the wagon. I'm here to blather.
I'm glad to have you here, and glad to blather away. Have you without names or sharing agencies that you work for, have you ever done something wrong on Slack, Zoom, texted the wrong person? I want to hear some
Not
horror stories.
not me, but I did have a guy on a truck who we had, you got the headsets on so you can hear each other.
Hmm.
And they were doing an impersonation of the massage or the wax therapist from 40-Year-Old Virgin, not knowing it was an open channel to the county.
Sorry, that's wrong. That's wrong. The whole county. So this dispatch everyone, every truck in the county was hearing this.
Any jerk with a police scanner heard it.
Oh no! Anything happened? Dare I ask?
Some very stern talkings too on radio etiquette.
Oh my God! Yeah. I used to love back in the security days the open mics where. What would happen is someone would be either out on patrol or in a vehicle or just walking. Sometimes your radios do not call the walkie-talkies to me. The radios or the rovers would engage, and it's like a butt dial. So, but it's also dangerous because it's blocking up the radio waves if someone needs actual help and is calling for help. But you would hear there's some stories too of things that were not supposed to be on the radio. So I love that stuff.
Yeah. I won't soon forget that for sure.
No, absolutely not. All right. Well, you're safe as well. Everyone's safe with these stories. But what's on your mind? Any specific question here tonight? Now that we have you back in the.
Well, I did want to call in. I did have a different wrong call or call the wrong person scenario I wanted to run by you. And this happened probably 16 years ago. I want to say I was probably 13 or 14 years old, playing paintball in the woods with my friends, as you do,
Yes, you do.
And I guess my mom hadn't heard from me or my group of friends in a while. And so she called me, and I think I left ours back at our little bivouac or little base camp or whatever.
Yep.
So don't eat that. We're going to paintball war. So she called my friend who was on the other team, who I've known since I was about 4 years old. He thought I was calling him, trying to like make the phone ring. Again, this is 2008, so it's not like these aren't iPhones. The phone is ringing. He thought we were trying to call him to give up his spot in the woods. So he picks up the phone, thinking it's me, and says, "Listen, you blankety blank, I'm gonna blankety blank your mother if you do that again."
And it was mom.
It was my mom. And she said, "Hi, Steve. Have you seen Evan?" And he went, "Oh," and he hung up. He couldn't say anything. He just hung up the phone. And he gave himself up after that. He says, "We gotta go fix something."
We gotta go fix. Okay. I was gonna say who won the match, but it sounds like you did. In many ways.
He gave himself up. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Great story, Evan. Good to have you here, my friend. The Blathering doors are always open. Yeah.
Thank you, Ken.
All right. Evan calling in. We got a lot of calls lined up, so I'm going to try to get to these calls here. And, of course, as always, we will make sure Cal is the last call, and I will push him to make the call quick. All right. We got our first one is Cameron. I don't want to assume that Cameron Stewart enjoys the shortening of Cam, and I don't want to assume that Cam Hass doesn't also want to be called Cameron. I don't know. We got two Camerons here. Cameron Stewart's on the call right now. I feel like a teacher. Cam S and Cam H. Cam S, you're on the show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Ken. How are you?
I'm good. Do you ever go by Cam? Is that a accepted shortening of your name, or are you a Cameron?
I always go by Cameron, but I've been called Cam. I've been called Stewart. I've been called Stu. Like any combination. I don't really have a preference. I was gonna joke. Oh, sorry.
No, have you played some sports, or do you get a sports nickname that stuck with you, like hey Stu or something like that?
No, but I did have a track coach in high school who always called me Stewart. I mean, he knew my name, but at any given time, I'm pretty much within arm's reach of another Cameron. Here is the same instance, so I would just answer to whatever. I mean, there was a guy who thought my name was Stewart for the longest time, and I was like, my first name is Cameron. He was like, what?
What?
But
name like Stewart. How are you doing? What's on your mind? You got any embarrassing stories to share? You got any questions? You tell me where we're going.
I'm gonna be kind of boring like a lot of these other calls. I don't have anything like bombshell level, but
I'm starting not to believe you all. I'm starting to not.
Sure.
I'm starting to, you know, I put myself out there and said I once almost ended a relationship accidentally sending the wrong information via text. And you can confess your truth here, Cameron.
no, I mean, I'm sure I have thing that it has.
Yeah.
But kind of with the same Cameron thing, there's another Cameron I work with who's in a different department. He works in like our creative services and whatnot. And I'll repeatedly get emails, messages, meeting invites to things that he has to do. And I've actually, when I was newer, I attempted to do some of those tasks because I didn't know that they weren't.
You just, yeah.
I don't. Yeah. So stuff like that. And back in university days, people would reply all to department-wide emails and, you know, personal stuff about their coursework. And
the reply. Yeah, the reply all thing is a mystery to me. I've done it in the past, but in 2025, we should all be aware of that. It happens. I don't think it's the worst of sins, but it happens. Oh, Cam, you there? Did I lose you? Is it my end? There could be issues on my end today. I don't know. Cameron, you still there? Oh, it dropped. Nope, dropped off. Okay. Well, from one Cameron, we go to a Cam. Cam has checking in. Cam, how you doing, buddy? You're on the show live. Do you have an embarrassing story? Oh, I can't hear Cameron. Now is it me? Is it me? Oh, he's going to mute. He's going to try again.
Am I good?
Yeah, okay, there you are. Now you're on. It's sometimes me. It might
have been an AirPod problem. So this isn't a text-based one. It's not even one that happened to me, but as soon as you brought up the topic, this story from my high school days came up. And I worked at Cineplex, the popular chain in Canada, for 4 years. And we had a work party. And so people would carpool, and we had there was a guy there, nice guy. He wasn't creep or anything, but he had a crush on this girl who clearly did not have reciprocated feelings. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But he thought they were pretty good friends, and I think she kind of didn't love being around him. So good. we were they were carpooling. Okay. And I was not the driver.
You're in the car?
I was in the car. I was in the back seat. And so we picked up the guy who had a crush on the girl, right? And she got picked up at the end. Sorry if this is confusing.
No.
And he decided that he was going to hide in the trunk and scare her when she got in the car. Okay. So we were on the car. Yeah. Not a great idea. Okay. And, so it works weird. You're not really friends with those people, but So he hides, and she gets in the car and immediately just starts talking smack about him. Like immediately when she sits down, like, oh my goodness, Keegan is.
I'm so glad he thought here. I hate that jerk.
It was terrible. And so you know what he did? He stayed in the trunk of the whole drive. He didn't get out. He did. I always.
That's a whole broad. That's exactly the right play. Because so he likes her. She clearly has never liked him.
No.
Hopefully hopefully he deals with that in the right way. But I don't know if I'd ever recover. I don't know if I'd ever get out of the trunk. I might move into the trunk.
It was never talked about. I think I don't remember really, like I said, I wasn't really close with him, but I know we got into the person's house, and I think he kind of just waited a good 5-10 minutes before coming into the party. It was.
And then did he pretend? Oh, just got here.
Whew. Yeah. Just did a whole just pretend. It was never talked about. But it was a pretty big story, so a lot of people did hear it, and I worked with a lot of people that I went to high school with. So I think the story did get around. Unfortunately, I might have contributed to that, to be honest.
Look. Yeah, gossip can hurt. I get it. Yeah. But you can't sit on that story.
You can't.
That's an amazing story.
I wasn't even going to call in today, Ken, because I feel like, for what I'm paying to be a member here, I don't feel I have the authority to call in this much, but I couldn't pass up telling the story to.
First of all, if any of you become YouTube channel members or Patreon supporters, you get to call in as many times as you want. There's no limit. Okay, Cab, you've earned everything. And when you got a story of this, of someone hiding in a car trunk, listening to their themselves be torn apart by the woman they like. Oh, you call in with that story.
On Saturday, and oh my goodness, he doesn't leave me alone, and all this stuff. It was terrible. And he was the kind of guy that had a crush on someone different every week, so it wasn't too bad. But
okay, so he recovered. Okay, he wasn't an incel in the making or anything. He just was a guy with a crush, and this one happened to shit on him while he was in a trunk of a car.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I like the story too, because he wasn't a creepy guy. I think he meant well, but just didn't really. Because I worked with people like that too, so I was always pretty cognizant of that. The girls I would work with who didn't like certain guys for very good reasons. He was just
for good reasons.
He was just one of those guys that people knew he was nice, but just it was what it was. But that's my story, Ken, and I hope you have a great rest of your night, sir.
Thank you, Cam. Thank you for the super chat earlier. Appreciate that. Check it in from the sovereign nation of Canada, not the 51st state. Thanks, Cam.
Have a good one, guys.
All right. That's a story. That's a story. Addie checks back in. 20 minutes, Disney, 5.33 miles, set a personal best and beat the other two riders. See, she says, thanks for pushing. Thanks for the push to everyone watching. So I think what that means now is Addie has earned the right to have some ice cream. I think when you Peloton that hard, when you Peloton, is that when you go Pelotoning? You deserve an ice cream treat after that. I don't know. If you're just joining live, this is the Blathering Live, the 151st episode. If you're listening later on the podcast feed, thanks for listening. There on the podcast feed, the Napzok Network, you can get the Monday morning show that I do. This week's was weird. I hope you all liked it. It was weird because I really, for the first time, was too exhausted and didn't want to do it. But I was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that shit. We're pressing on. So I did it. So it all worked. All right, checking in on our buddy Laserbolt's video that I'm watching here in the background. We're 55 minutes in. This is great. He is currently flying over Temple of Doom. I think he's flying over Temple of Doom, the plot of Temple of Doom. Looking at this photo here. This video. That's a video. I know it. If you're just joining, we're helping our buddy Laserbolt get over 4,000 hours watched to help him completely and fully monetized his channel. Monetize the channel. Scotty Jarrow says 150 episodes, 150 Pokemon. Interesting. Scotty, I sent you a link. I emailed it. I can't text from this computer. The link is in your email. But this is really relaxing stuff, too. I watch this sometimes while I'm playing Fortnite. It's just in the background. So help support our buddy Laserbolt. Head over to his channel, Laserbolt Videos. The subscriber count is up, but we're trying to get those watch hours there as well. All right, calling in the show right now is our buddy producer Steve. Steve, how are you? Hot takes. Where are we going? Never mind. Scotty says I'll call once I get to the Costco. I don't know. We'll see if we're still on the air, Scotty. Break speed laws. Producer Steve, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Ken. How are you? Thanks so much.
As always, good to have you here. Look, you said it earlier. Some of our listeners, I'm just going to say it, Jared, they're cowards. They're not sharing the truth of their stories. I know they've all done some embarrassing things. I'm starting to think it was Jared that sent the pictures. But do you have a gaffe to share?
I do. This was my first, second desk job out of college, like 9 to 5. And I was a communications specialist at the company I worked for. And one of the tasks, it's done well for me. One of the this communication specialist straight out of college means here's the Twitter, Facebook passwords. Don't get yourself fired. That's basically what that was.
Don't send the nuke codes out. Yeah,
exactly. And so the first task they gave me that week was, all right, here's the constant contact information. We need you to send out the newsletter. So I had about 10,000 people in this mailing list that I was sending things out to. It was a very specific clientele, and it was this very specific kind of clientele that would not appreciate being called a different first name than your first name. There's a lot of, let's just say there's a lot of people who wouldn't appreciate being called names that were not anywhere close to what their name was. And I don't really know how I can explain that differently, Dad. But Immediately that went out. So it went all to the the correct email address as it was supposed to. But Ken, you got Steve's email, so it said Steve Napzok, blah 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 blah, and it was a very important email about some very important information about how careful we were being about stuff. So that wasn't a good look.
So it wasn't a good look. Did you? Yeah. Were you punished? What? Take me through the shame. Did you?
The shame to this day. But
yeah.
The punishment was just, hey, let's not do that again if you want to keep doing this whole work for money thing.
Yeah.
So it was a good learning moment. I certainly never did it again, and I definitely figured out I'm way better at like importing Excel files into things now. That's for sure. So
yeah. No, there's there's learning lessons. I am wonderfully careless where I just get locked in habits and routines, and if a part of the routine drops out, I'll skip over the checklist. So there's been times the Force Center episodes when we used to break them up for commercials, you'd get a little bit of the pre-roll. That happens where I forget to go back. I'm editing 4 things at once, and I forget that the beginning of the Force Center episode where it has, you ready, Jen? All right, let's go. And then you get just a wash of comments going, oh, look at that, pre-show. And there's some shame/anger with it. But only one time did I allow a bathroom break for one of our guests to go on air. You didn't hear it, but it was, and thank God we didn't have a car trunk moment on Force Center, so I got through it. But I respect what how you push through your email gaff there.
You got to put. I mean, it was the first week, so if they were going to fire me on the first week for something like that, then honestly, that was probably just more of a pain in the butt for them to go through the whole hiring and firing process in that time than it was to just be like, hey, you know what, take this one on the chin and let's not do that again. So.
Well, we always love when Serenity Jane is in chat, but this is one of my favorite comments of the day. My stepsister sent some very explicit pictures to the family chat, which included Grandma.
No, poor Grandma.
That's amazing. Yeah, you gotta be, you do it once, you'll never do it again, right? You'll check.
That's one of I don't think I'm very old, Ken, but I think I'm too old for the getting the appeal of let me potentially send something over the internet that could just ruin my whole life kind of thing. So I've never got the whole, explicit image. Let's share that stuff. that never clicked for me, but hey, you do you.
Yeah. And our buddy Brandon checking in, I accidentally sent a not safe for work photo. I mean, the send buttons are too easy to tap. That's the problem. That's the problem. All right. Producer Steve, I'm checking. You sent some notes. These are great
notes. Got like 2 more, just a couple more things here.
Yeah, hit me.
Yeah, so we got the Blather bracket going on. I can put the link in chat here. Tomorrow is the last day for deciding the regions. We just said on Saturday the top 2 regions are going to be the 2 that we take for the final bracket, and we'll have the final bracket on Thursday. So go ahead and fill out that 1 question Google form if you haven't already.
Yeah, if you're watching live or watching later in the live chat, Steve's put in there a few times, but it's this Google form here, and you're going to help us determine the Blather bracket, like you said. Do we have a leader in the clubhouse yet?
The 2 leaders, well, we're taking 2 right now. The MCU and Star Trek are currently in the read. Oh, actually, we've got a few more responses since we started talking. Yeah, same. Yeah, MCU and Star Trek are in the lead. It's close, though. Indiana Jones is creeping up in 3rd place, but those are your two leaders in the clubhouse: Star Trek and the MCU.
Eli is saying vote Marvel. It's a grassroots campaign going. Scotty says sent my submission. Jerry, the canon junkie, saying I once accidentally sent a message meant for my then fiance to a professor and mentor of mine. Well, I'm Jerry, but with you, I imagine you were only spreading the love of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that the message was okay, and that everything worked out. Cool.
I always wonder how those go, like how those get received. Do you ever, whenever you just mean to send a romantic or flirtatious or risque text to someone that isn't the intended recipient, and they give you something back that's like a little receptive, like what do you do there?
What if
like what if this professor was like, oh yeah, what's up?
The professor was like, well, Jerry, I never thought of you that way, but yes. I don't know, like you changed the course of 2 relationships in one accidental text. Yeah. I every once in a while, I've had some former work buddies just said, thank God they were innocent, but just like, hey, honey, I'm almost home. Love you. Hey, honey, left Ken's house. I'll be home soon. Love you. And it's, who hasn't done that? But Jerry says it wasn't explicit, but goddamn, it was embarrassing. It was cutesy flirting. Well, there you go.
Gotta start somewhere.
I'm gonna start somewhere.
Next. Yeah, I don't want to keep you too long. I mean, I did have some notes on Hegseth, just for you were talking about that earlier, but you covered that pretty well. Well, here's the two things that I got from the Atlantic article. Ken, he said bombing the Houthis wasn't about bombing the Houthis.
Right.
That was in the thing. Bombing. So just to be clear, bombing people, like living human beings, wasn't about bombing those living human beings.
Yeah.
Whoever they are and whatever the motives have you, but that was just an amazing thing to see in text from a, government official of that order saying, yes, we're going to bomb these folks, but it's not really about bombing them. It's just about like the optics of it. So, that's why it's a good idea.
Yeah. The whole thing is real. Like I said up top, we are from the start of this country to now, we have never been morally clean. And the fact that I would imagine, when they got bin Laden, there was high fives and fist bumps. I get that from a certain point of view. Not that I agree with it on all the levels, but I understand it. But it's just something in a goddamn like text app that we're seeing fist bump emojis and stuff. It just was I haven't processed it yet. Still,
and within that, also talking about the importance of 100% OPSEC, highest levels of detail and attention. Meanwhile, the reporter from the Atlantic is just sitting in the corner. Metaphorically, as on the group text chain, just being like, oh my God.
You know what my favorite part of the whole story, in this surreal story, is when he leaves the thread knowing and doing this on purpose, as if to say, okay, now I'm going to let them know I was here, and it's going to notify them, like when you leave a Facebook message group or something, so-and-so has left the conversation. I love that moment, because then I want to know if anyone paid attention to that. Did they all think, just ignore it? If at this point it wasn't a trap, it wasn't on purpose, it wasn't done it was like, oh, bleep, crap. I would love to know a little bit more of that moment from their point of view, but we'll never get that.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they didn't know until the story was published.
Completely right. Absolutely. Most of them probably don't even know what's going on over there. But we'll see. We'll see. Like our buddy Mike Fink commented earlier, it's just we're in a era where there's no consequences for this. No Republicans are going to call this absurd or dangerous or anything unless anyone in the last hour has emerged. I don't think that's going to be the case. But anyways, we'll monitor it. We'll have some updates, Steve.
Well, yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's something we'll have to follow. I do have one last thing before we do 16 seconds of sports, and I promise I'll get out of here.
Okay, Cam, look at this. Cam Hass's producer Steve has a great podcast voice. I agree. When do we get some more content from producer Steve?
I sure hope so. We mentioned that on Saturday. Some stuff. Things are cooking. Things are cooking. So we'll have some. Okay. We'll announce things here if we do, but things are cooking. Okay. All right. But I got a 16 seconds of sports so that you at least and no matter what happens with producer Steve, we'll always have the Blathering appearances for sure. And by the way, folks, just I know I'm not on camera today, but I am drinking my beer today out of my Blathering pint glass as always for the show, and my Blathering mug came as well.
Okay, hold on. I got to get you on. I forgot.
That wasn't. I'm not trying to be that guy. That was not.
Look, no. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You want FaceTime? I understand. No, I'm kidding. I forgot to bring it over today, but I want you to show the world your beard, number one, but two, the pint glass, because I don't have the pint glass. There's producer Steve.
We're almost back. We're pretty close.
You're back, baby.
You can still see the dimple.
You still see the dimple a little bit.
But yeah,
look at the
folks,
pint.
Yeah,
look at
this. Look at
this. It's beautiful. Yeah. For those on chat, it's the greatest pint glass, or for those on the podcast, it's the greatest pint glass you've ever seen in your life.
And it came in very eco-friendly packaging for the most part. Nice and small, fit in my mailbox. I got the mug as well. I got the big ass mug too. I got the. So the real big, like the 20 ounce or whatever it is. So very excited for that. So thank you so much. And you can't. Oh, there it is. There's a little book right over my shoulder.
Oh yeah, hey. I used to be able to sell that book online. The website's dead. All right. Anyways, 16 seconds. No, you got one more thing. What else we got?
Oh yeah, one more thing. This is just a statement. I could totally steal a Cessna.
You think you could steal a Cessna just
Absolutely.
by?
Yeah.
Did you think that before watching Laserbolt's videos, or do you think that more now?
More after, because I did watch some of Laserbolt's videos. I subscribed last week, and I've been watching some of them. They are also, I mean, I was watching them and kind of like following along, but it is also great. I'm big on second screen content.
Yeah.
So that was awesome just to have in the background while I was playing some games. So
Love
cheers
it.
to you, Laserbolt.
No.
But so between that, no, but I've also I've dipped my toes in the flight sim waters a bit. So I've done some flight sim before. And yeah, I could totally. I mean, if you gave me the keys, or well, you didn't give me the keys. The keys were in the plane, and all I had to do was just like turn stuff on and go. Like there was no other traffic. This is just a tiny little airport. Like think of like a James Bond movie, how he kind of just like takes off in the middle of nowhere. Like there's no air traffic control to worry about, and then like you need some force. Yeah. I could do that. I'm pretty sure I could get you in the air, and now landing and like navigating and all that jazz.
Okay,
I could get you in the air.
You could get Laserbolt says that's the hardest thing. Okay, I'll tell you what. You go try it out for me and come back and report, and then I'll get in the Cessna with you.
Oh, I'm terrified of flying.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, as much as
but as much as I love being a passenger in big jets and everything, and love air travel, and love goddamn airports, some of my favorite things in the world, I'm not getting in a Cessna. I just never happen. Never do.
Oh no, me either. See, I hate all of it. I don't like any flying, like at all. Like we've talked about that a little bit before, but some part of me would almost kind of rather feel more comfortable if I was flying the Cessna than I would being a passenger in it, or being a passenger in another plane, just because I'm terrified of just the non-control element part of it.
It's a control issue. Steve's ego's on display here today. Demanded camera and
demanded camera strong. I'm trying to do free advertising for you.
You're doing the Lord's work for me. No, all right, 16 seconds of sports. I've been following NCAA a little bit because of this little temp job I have. And I even watched some basketball on Saturday with Mr. Mark Ellis and Christian Ruvacabla of the Wanger Show. So where are we going with sports?
Here we go, 16 seconds of sports. So finishing up our sports date, Oscar Piastri won the Chinese Grand Prix. Both Ferraris were disqualified, and Red Bull might be firing the rookie driver after 2 races. In after-school sports and the men's tournament, the men's and women's tournaments are both underway. And the big headline from both really is Cinderella is dead. She doesn't exist anymore. Highest remaining seed in the men's tournament is number 10 Arkansas, and their coach is a Hall of Famer. So, yeah, see you later, Cinderella. The NFL draft is in 31 days, and opening day for baseball. Baseball starts this week. We are 3 days from opening day, so I want to know what you are most looking forward to for baseball this season.
Yesterday I had my almost 8-hour fantasy baseball draft. Started at 10, got home at 5. I do it every year. In my 26th year with this baseball league I'm in. Me and my buddy Corey co-owned the team. Had a long draft, wonderful draft. We're taking a big risk. Spencer Strider, we paid $35 to take a risk on his return. So I'm looking forward to healthy players this year. I'm looking forward to, and I want this for baseball. I definitely no longer want to read the headlines of, so-and-so young up-and-coming pitcher blows out arm. But it just seems to be part of the game. I've seen and read articles, seen stories covering it's the speed. It's also the lack of control. It's just how fast can you fling it. And kids are throwing. My friend Corey, one of his twin sons is a high school pitcher. And not injured, thank God. But he goes, the rest of the team, the pitchers they're also 16, throwing 90 miles per hour now, and they throw year round. And they're hurt. Being hurt is part of their pitching journey, and I just don't like that. So I don't want that for this year for baseball.
Yeah, they talk about with recruits coming out of college going into the pros, like with a pitcher, if he hasn't had Tommy John surgery yet, almost as a negative, because it's like, oh wait, like he hasn't gotten it over with yet.
He hasn't got it over with yet. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't like that. Crazy. So, but I'm looking forward to healthy players. Looking forward to we got a good team with some big questions. So, we'll get to that. Looking forward to opening day as well. And why did they fire the Red Bull driver? Or why are they?
They haven't fired him. They haven't fired him. he's 2 races in, and he's been horrible in a car that won the drivers' championship last year. He hasn't even gotten as good as, I think 16th was his best result in the last 2. There's only been 2 races, and he hasn't gotten better than 16th. So they're kind of like, well, kid, we can't do this on our own with just one driver. So the seat is hot already after 2 races. That's the story, which is unheard of.
The seat is hot. The seat is hot. Wonderful stuff. We'll get more on Thursday following the tournament. It's been following more the women's tournament than the men's tournament on the NCAA side, but because that's kind of the job I'm working on. But good stuff. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you so much, Ken. Take care.
16 seconds of sports. We're almost done here, but I got 2 calls to get to. And this next call, I'm going to take it camera too. You're going to be on camera, okay? Okay. Okay. There he is. You're in a Costco. What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm breaking the Ken Napzok cardinal rule. I'm buying
What's
a pair
that?
of blue jeans, Ken.
I
know, but look, I just bought these yesterday. These Levi's. They were $40, and they were fantastic. So here I am. I'm back here. I just need a set of blue jeans. Look, good blue jeans.
I'm going to say this. I know I came out hard against polo shirts and blue jeans the other day. I do own a couple pairs of blue jeans. Okay. It's fine. I don't wear them socially. I don't wear them on stage anymore. It's okay. But so you're returning?
I returned some other ones because I bought some Kenneth Cole ones. Not as good. But these these Levi's are great.
What you wearing? You wearing slim cut? Yes. I wear slim cut too, and I don't wear skinny jeans. And I know all you youngsters out there are going baggy again, but as someone who lived during the baggy era, don't do that to yourself. No. Get a tighter cut. Returning things is one of my cardinal rules. I've never returned anything in my life.
So you buy it. This is very old man of you, and I love you, and you know that. But to buy something and be like, I'm stuck with it now.
Yes.
There's policies and companies that are like, yes, please, by all means, if you don't like it, bring it. What?
Scotty, and I'll come on Bombad to talk about this too. There's people in my life, my fiance, Josh McCouga. We actually got in a fight over this one time when we were building the GPA studio. I got the wrong like holders for the curtains. And he's like, just go back to IKEA and return them. And I went, okay. And I put them in the trunk of my car and I kept them there for 6 months. No, because I was like, I don't return things. It's my mistake. I'm not going to put that on you. I did the mistake.
Even if you're unhappy, like even if you are truly in your gut, like, oh my God, why did I just spend this much money on this? This is not for me. You'll still fight it. Admirable.
Look,
admirable.
I don't know, but it's not admirable, right, Scotty? Because look, if you go to like a Target or even an IKEA, it's someone making far too less money an hour than they deserve, and they're just sitting there just going, yeah, okay, and they press a couple buttons. It's not their money. It's corporate money. Who cares? I just have this thing in my head, like, I can't do this to you. I did this. I bought the wrong pair of jeans. Maybe I'll lose weight and fit into them, or maybe I'll donate them to someone, but I got them.
Like, okay, well, then what is there, have you ever made a purchase that was justifiable? Like, have you ever bought something that you were just like, I am so mad that I settled for this? But
all the time. All the time. Do you know how many times I'm like, ooh, that shirt's going to look great on me. And then I get home and I'm like, I should have bought 3 sizes larger. Let me just go back.
Would you even flip it and sell it? Like, let's say you bought a Celebration exclusive shirt and they only had so many of these shirts, and then you bought it 1 size too small. Would you go on eBay and be like, you know what? Someone else will get joy out of this. It's not necessarily.
No, I try to lose weight. I try to lose weight. It's on me. It's on me to improve. And there's the questions are coming in. Jared Tie Pilot asked, what if your food order is wrong? I've talked about this many times. Unless I am allergic to it or it's got tentacles on it, I'm gonna eat it and I'm gonna act like I ordered it. I don't even.
This is amazing.
I don't. If the waiter comes back and they put down a chicken sandwich, and I ordered a cheeseburger, I eat the goddamn chicken sandwich and I say thank you. That was wonderful. I don't even want them. Sometimes they'll come back and be like, I am so sorry. I just realized I gave you the wrong order. I'd be like, it was delightful. Thank you.
Is this your Christian upbringing? Really? Honestly.
It's Jesus. It's Jesus Christ, our Savior. No, I just did this Saturday at Wood Ranch. I had a passion fruit iced tea, and she brought out a regular for the second refill. out of 5 refills that day. And she goes, oh my gosh. She hands it to me. She goes, I'm so sorry. You had a passion. I said, give me that. Give me that. I said, you're doing great. And I just want her to have a good day. I'll have a different tea. It's okay.
This is beautiful because this is such a good insight into your psyche on like, you know, the kind of person you are. Because, you know, Ken and I text about daily now. And
Yeah.
like, it's always very
Thanks for
polite
waking me up. It's great.
and wonderful stuff. Yes, because I'm 2 hours ahead. But you know, I wake Jerry up too, and he's an hour behind me. But all that being said, like to get the opportunity to like, you know, go and get an object, not be pleased with it. So like, even like Amazon returns, like even things like that, not just like everything. I love this.
I had to return one. There's something like it was like I had to return it or something. And then, you know, look, the returns, the free returns are destroying our environment. Go watch the Climate Town video on that.
Okay.
So,
Right.
yeah, and it's easy. We've got like Grace returns things, and we go to the Whole Foods where you just go before you go to the grocery store. You walk up to them and you hold the box up there, and they go beep, thanks, have a nice day, and it's done with. It's done with. Yeah. But for me, I don't care what anyone else does. For me, I will eat the food you put in front of me, Scotty.
Unbelievable.
For those listening, Scotty's now in the TV section of this Costco. This is the best broadcasting I've ever done. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Eli says this is crazy. Brandon says this is the craziest thing I've ever heard from you. Look, but Brandon, you sold me comic books. If I got a wrong issue of Superman 92 and I got home and I was like, I wanted 91. Actually, I've done here's an example at the comic shop. Brandon and I met. For those that don't know, Brandon and I met in a comic shop, and I would occasionally forget what issues I got, and I would get home and be like, oh, I already had that Star Wars 15. I have a stack of doubles in my garage of my comic books. I don't try to return them. I'm like, I made the mistake. It's on me. This isn't Brandon. It's me.
That's fascinating. This is going to be a whole stream now. I don't return.
It is.
To sender. No, okay, I have an embarrassing story. I texted it to you because I have it written out.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw that very long message.
There's been a few.
I'm not going to read verbatim from it, but my most embarrassing story, and I'm going to give you some insight first before I get to the story. I had this roommate in college, one of my wife's best friends, who her family had a really traumatic experience. Her dad like killed her mom, and then her dad killed her. Something, it was horrible, like as bad as it can be. So there's a reason why I say that, because her name, I won't say her name, but she, whenever she asked for favors, Ken, you don't tell someone like that no. So they were our roommate, and you just said yes to everything. You're a puppy dog. So I don't know what's happening here.
Are you going to get kicked out of this Costco?
No, they don't close until another hour from now, and I'm just testing out the chair. So here I am. I was 21 at the time, and our friend said, "Hey, I have a weird favor. One of our other family members, because she's not really close to their family after that whole situation happened, and they asked if I could come to a party dressed as, Chelsea. Oh, what was their name? Not gonna say it. Doesn't matter. Chelsea. Like, I was asked to come dress as Batman for my cousin's party, and I was wondering, I'm not really up for anything like that. Scott, could you do it? I said, sure. Right? How old's this kid? 16 years old. I'm like, oh, 16-year-old girl. Okay, all right. Kind of strange. I'll do that. Whatever. And the costume, even worse, was her gift. So like, just to add more, like, so here I am. Wearing this costume as a gift for this young lady. And this is where it gets bad. And nothing against them. I'm sure this is never going to get back to Chelsea unless this goes viral.
No.
That side of the family, I would say, didn't live in the best part of town, in the sense of like, they lived in a very poor part of Louisiana. And here I am. I pull up to this dog-infested trailer. And I'm in my Honda Civic, putting on the Batman suit.
Sensible.
And I walk in, and I knock on the door, boom, 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 open the door, and I essentially do about a 30-minute improv to no reaction.
To no reaction.
Not just like, oh, ha, ha, the initial shock. Oh, and I'm going in. I'm like, I'm Batman. And I spent the last 3 days learning all the, the Dark Knight quotes and everything. And I'm like, and I'm just doing the whole thing. And then no one's laughing. I sent you the video. You can watch it in your own time. But all that being said, the worst part was the payment for this. So I was promised a payment.
Okay.
The payment was hot dog spaghetti. That was it.
Okay.
That is my most embarrassing story. And it's all on video, right? It's all.
I'm gonna watch.
It's terrible. It's terrible. So it's one of those ones where you just kind of have to accept your fate. And it's truly the cringiest and most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. And it's televised,
Mine wasn't televised, but when I was in radio, by the way, I'm having this conversation with a man in a Costco. This is the greatest thing ever. When I was in radio in the 90s, I was a sports guy. So they did for the NFL season, they did a early, whatever the direct TV was of the early 90s, where not everyone had it in their house, right? So if you entered to win a contest, you every week would get the device to watch all the football games and a free pizza party, right? You could four large pizzas, right? And then the bonus was sports guy Ken will have lunch with you because he's going to deliver the pizzas. So every Sunday, I was get the winner. We had a weekly winner, and then I'd go pick up the pizzas, and the tech came out and hooked up the DirecTV thing, whatever it was. It wasn't DirecTV, but whatever it was at the time. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So the first week, it's great. I show up. They're like, dude, Ken Napzok. Oh, my God. And I sat there and I had pizza. And the second week, I show up. I deliver the pizzas, and I'm like, hey, and I take a piece because I was hungry, and I sit down. And the family's staring at me. And after about 15 minutes, they go, What are you doing? They had no idea who I was. And they thought a pizza delivery man had walked into their house, delivered the pizzas, and then started eating it and sat down on their couch. And I go, did you guys enter the contest at the radio station? I'm the sports guy from the radio station. And they went, no, we entered at the pizza shop. They had they didn't even know the radio station I was on. So I got up and got out of there as fast as I could and yelled at the marketing sales guy on Monday, and we never had to do that again.
There should have been a verification process or some sort of hey, this person is coming, right?
That's what they said to the sale. That's what the bosses said to the sales guy. You should have clarified that. Anyways, Scotty, I'm almost out of here. I got Cal coming. This has been great. Please call me from more big box stores, okay?
Always, Kim. Stay bombad. Bye, bud.
Stay bombad. Looking forward to talking to Scotty on Force Center. We are going to have him on for Blank is Web of Star Wars, talk about midichlorians ahead of his big panel at Star Wars Celebration Japan. If you're out there, check it out. All right, final call of the day. This is it, and he's going to tell me don't rush me off. But Grace is ordering dinner, Cal, and I what do you want? What do you want from me, Cal?
Dinner.
There he is. There he is. Kingsport Cal, we hear you.
What's going on, man? You'll let Scotty talk about blue jeans and what have you in the middle of a Costco, mind you, but you can't talk to me for 5 minutes and say what's up.
Well, I just look, man. You have the floor. What do you want from me, Cal?
Can I tell you what I want as a favor from you?
Okay.
Do you have access to any liquor right now?
I don't have access to it right now. I think I have some apple spiced rum out in the living room.
Well, could you please take a shot with me?
I'll take a shot of water. I can't currently access the liquor.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. All right. Well, never mind that.
Tell you what. Thursday, the next time you call in, can you call in Thursday or Saturday?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay. You let me know. You're a Patreon supporter now. You're in the Discord. Let me know, and I'll take a shot with you.
Okay, and I wanted to take a shot with you, my friend, because tomorrow is a day of my birth.
Oh!
So I want to celebrate that with you today, but that's fine.
Well, see, if I had known that before the show, if you had Discorded me, you sometimes DM me on Facebook, some wonderful supportive messages. You couldn't have said, "Hey, tomorrow let's do a birthday shot."
You should know, Ken. You should instinctively know that I
All
want.
right.
Anyway,
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I know you mentioned it soon. It's not a complete news to me, but I would have absolutely done a shot of whiskey.
I know it's not complete news, Ken. We're Facebook friends. I'm sure it tells you my birthday.
Cal,
I know you don't pay attention. I know you don't care that much, Ken.
Cal, I do. First of all, I care about you. I care. We are going to go to that Hooters in Johnson City, Tennessee, and have some wings.
No,
it's going to happen one day. Did they close the Hooters?
Yeah, well, not yet, but they're going to probably. Did you see that? Where they're going to close all the Hooters down?
Yeah, they're going to close them Hooters down.
I'm pretty sure Johnson City, Tennessee's Hooters is not on the top priority of Hooters to stay open. You see what I'm saying?
No, I disagree with you. No, I disagree with you. I think Hooters Corp, the head honchos at Hooters are like, well, that Hooters at Johnson City, Tennessee is part of the hub of the community. When I was there, it was popular. Now, granted, it was 2008. I think the one that closed in Burbank, no one was going to it. The one in Johnson City is a hub, much like the Walmart Superstore. I think it's a better chance of staying open, and you and I are going to get those wings.
Waffle House has more of the following than the Walmart Superstore. Thank you very much.
All right. We'll go to Waffle House. Okay, but okay, hold on, Cal. Here's the thing. I don't go onto Facebook daily anymore, so I miss a lot of birthdays.
Who
right.
Does?
So you're expecting me to go support fascism on Facebook and see your birthday in the process?
I'm not saying that, Ken. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Twisting my words in usual fashion. But I'll tell you what I will do right now. I'm going to take a shot of gin for you for myself. So
do it.
You and anybody in chat who has a beer or whatever.
Look, he did the shot. It's beautiful.
That poison going down.
Happy birthday to Kingsport. Yeah.
Speaking of poison, Ken, when you going to drop that fake ass cigarette and get a real cigarette and get cancer like the rest of us?
Never. Well, this thing, I pulled it out years ago. I bought this I thought I was going to maybe do some Dutch Allen stuff. I didn't do it. I didn't feel comfortable doing it. Dutch Allen's great, but then I pulled it out the other day for a voiceover thing. Maybe about it was 5 weeks ago, and my voiceover coach was like, "When that is in your hand, I don't think you realize how much it calms you down and opens you up creatively." I don't know why. So, Cal, I just keep it around here. What do you want?
Yeah. No. I mean, I can see that. I can see that as a tool to get you into like a character, as say, or a different mindset.
Different mindset.
That is good. I can see that being a good tool to use in your voice acting or just in acting in general. You see, remember back in the day when James Dean and all them people, they'd have the cigarette pack rolled up in the sleeve and they'd come in with a cigarette in the mouth. Do not think that did not influence the way that they acted in those scenes.
It did. Look, Ocean's 11, Brad Pitt's character eats in every scene. I love that stuff. I love those choices. All right, Cal. I'm not rushing you. I want to get to what you want to talk about. Are you going to summarize? What are you going to do for your birthday?
Oh, no. Y'all don't need to know my birthday plans. They I don't need to make my birthday plans public. I don't need to dox myself like somebody did on here. Billy Business talks his thoughts. That's part of the recap.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I'll do the recap real quick, and I'll try to get to
do the recap. I'm getting hungry, and we're gonna order some food, and I'm gonna celebrate your birthday in my head tonight. Okay.
Well, all right. Let's see. What did I write down here? Addie. Oh yeah, Addie's a trooper because she risked her life. She was in the QE for the call-in while she was on the road. And also I hope she gets that grant. Jared called, he talked about skating. I will tell you something. I used to thrash, I used to shred back in the day. I tried it not too long ago with my old board, Old World Industries board. I'm sure Jared get that. At a church that I used to skate at, and I ate shit, and you can't skate when you're 43. And he also talked about Oh yeah, the picture, the picture. I'm sure he saved it. The picture that he got,
and of
course,
dirty
Game
pictures.
of Thrones. Yes,
Game
and
of
of course,
Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Really business. You know, he talks himself to his crew, which has got to be very embarrassing because you know they all seen it. And he talks about wrestling. Major problems. I'm glad you found your way in.
Yeah.
Talked about paintball. Then we had Cameron Stewart, and all I got from that is Lost Call. The first Cameron.
Cameron. And I know Cameron felt bad about that. I've had that happen too, where you're on your phone live streaming and a phone call comes in and you're knocked off. Don't worry, Cam.
He knows, just like G.I. Joe. Like G.I. Joe. Now he knows.
It's half the battle. Yeah, okay. All right. First Cam.
We got Cameron Haas called in. And I think between the two of them, they distinguish which one wants to be called Cameron and which one wants to be called Cam.
That's true.
I can't remember which one. But
Cam's from
now you got a distinction.
Cam's from Canada. He says a boot.
Oh, a boot. Oh,
a boot.
Hey.
Okay.
So oh yeah. Cameron Haas, trunk talk is what I wrote down. I think something involved the trunk. I can't exactly remember.
Trunk of the car. Great story.
Oh yeah, I remember now. But anyway, Steve came in.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what they're talking about really, and then he went into sports. And as always, Steve, I loved the last segment. I heard the when was that? Whatever day it was, the sports date night stuff. I love it.
Oh yes.
Anyway, Scotty got special treatment and got to call in from Costco and got to be waited on, where he talked about blue jeans, which was whatever that was.
Cal, let me stop you there for 1 second. 2 questions for you, and I want quick answers. Do you own blue jeans, or do you suggest only wearing black jeans? And 2, would you be willing to go down to that Johnson City Walmart superstore and call in one night?
Well, for the second question, no, because immediately if they probably kick me out. But anyway,
okay,
but I wouldn't do that anyway. But no, I'm a big avid fan of blue jeans. I'm also a big avid fan of the color black in general. I wear black majority of the time.
But would you say it's a good idea to always bet on black?
I don't know, because I'm not a gambler, but in terms of it's just in general, yes.
Okay.
But I do get black blue jeans, just mind you, because blue jeans are good for work. Just blue jeans in general, the way they're constructed.
Okay, solid. Cowboys warm, yeah. Okay.
You're right. Miners, blue jeans were actually invented for miners.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
Put rivets on blue jeans.
Yeah, the rivets would heat up and they'd hurt your stuff. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that, but I'm just saying they've done it to reinforce the stuff for workers.
Your butts. Reinforce your butts. Yeah.
Paper, Watch
okay.
What's Jurassic Park? Watch it.
Okay. Bring it home. Bring it home.
Bring it home. Anyway, but you don't want to talk about blue jeans. Blue jeans are important. They are a part of Americana.
They are. Literally.
Anyway,
my grandmother, rest her soul, used to send blue Levi's, used to send jeans back to her sister in Chernobyl. They wanted American jeans. It was top contraband to get over. Yeah,
it's one thing. See, America used to be anyway. Never mind. But I do love good cargo pant though.
I don't love the cargo pants. Get rid of the cargo pants.
You're probably a jogger guy, whatever, jogging pants.
Cal, can I inform you something? Can I inform you? And this isn't me rushing you, okay? I've missed out on dinner.
Good. You deprived so many things.
I missed out on. I just got a text. You took too long. I had something else.
Who said that? Grace?
Who do you think? Who do you think's in my house ordering dinner?
Well, she's chowing down. Well, okay, Ken. I still don't think you ever give me my due, just so you know. I think you might have.
I give you your due. You got an entire segment, and it's your birthday.
You will talk to people for 10 minutes about blue jeans and climate change, which is very important, by the way. I love those stuff.
It is very important. Climate change.
Game of Thrones.
Okay, Game of Thrones.
Which is fiction.
It's a clip. It's a clip out, Cal. It's a clip out. It goes on Casually Talk. All right. All right, Cal.
I was going to ask you about spring cleaning. If you was going to do any spring cleaning.
I'm gonna clean out my friends list here now. That's what I'm gonna. No, I don't. Spring cleaning for what? Like clean the andirons, or what do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you, kid. It's spring cleaning. Do you do spring cleaning? Get the dust out. Let the windows open.
I do. Yeah, I do. I have a very high powered duster that my pal Ken Plume recommended, and it's a great duster. You charge it up, and it just blows hard, which is the only thing we all want in life. So yeah, it works really good. I do that. All right. Whatever. All right, Cal.
I don't. But I did want to point out.
I can't make this a 2-hour show, Cal.
I know that. We're at 1:45.
I've missed out on dinner.
You have not missed out. She's probably taken one bite. She's waiting on you. I did want to say that your Monday morning show was a good one. It was very
thanks, Cal.
When it wasn't just you yelling at old clowns, which it was, but it was good.
Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that.
Cal. Okay. And I kind of got. I'm gonna threaten you that I'll call.
You're gonna threaten me? You can threaten me.
Yes, threatening you, right?
All right. I love you, Cal. Happy birthday. Have a good day tomorrow. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and drink up. Okay.
I'll see.
All right. Cal, check it in. Kicksport Cal. Always fun. Always a good time. I'm going to go figure out dinner. We'll be back Thursday night. Answer that blather bracket. Don't forget to head on over to Laser Bolt Videos channel and support the man. Watch those videos. Get those hours up so we can help him grow his channel as well. You guys are all great. Always fun hanging out with you. Bye.